And welcome back to Westmoreland on the Gridiron. It is now time for the part of the show where I get a chance to talk with our Westmoreland Sports Network Player of the Week. And as we mentioned earlier, a big congratulations goes out to Tasso Whipple, our Week 4 Player of the Week, of course, from Penn-Trafford. Tasso last week ran for 185 yards and a touchdown in the Warriors' victory over Kiski Area. Tasso, you're a two-time Westmoreland Sports Network Player of the Week. And I know you're very excited to get to talk to me again this year. Congratulations, man. Thanks for taking some time out.
Yeah, of course. It's an honor.
I don't know about that, but I appreciate you saying that, Tasso. Well, let's get into it. A big victory against Kiski Area last week, considering especially that you lost to Woodland Hills to open conference play. So how big of a win was that to be able to bounce back and go to 1-1 in the conference?
Well, it was a big morale booster. We really did need that win, and some guys stepped up and really made it happen.
Yeah, and it was 7-7 at halftime, so the game was certainly kind of still up for grabs at that point, but you guys had a massive second half. What do you think allowed you guys to pull away in that second half?
Well, we had a good momentum change. We had Michael Chaplik ran a couple awesome plays, and the kick return was a big momentum shift for us, and we just took Chaplik's motivation and we ran with it.
Well, yeah, speaking of running with it, I want to ask you about your running style here in a little bit, but Chaplik's return, let's get back to that because that was incredible. We didn't broadcast the game last week, so it's not up for plays of the week, but it certainly should be. I mean, it was a ridiculous run, the stiff arm. Yeah. Take us through what it was like, everybody getting together in film and watching that. That had to be awesome.
Yeah, it's a lot of smiles on a lot of people's faces in the film room when we saw that. We know that what he's capable of, and just watching him show it is a great feeling.
Now, Coach Wayne said he's maybe the fastest kid on the team. Do you have something to say about that, or do you agree that
he's very fast. Yeah, he's very fast. He does track. He's very successful in that as well, and you got to take advantage of that, and I'm happy he does.
Was there a lot of hoot and hollering when you guys watched back though during film?
Oh yeah, I mean, even watching in film, you could see the sidelines. Everybody was going crazy about that play. It was amazing.
And that's great when you can get a special teams touchdown, as you mentioned. Turn the momentum, and special teams always seems like it's been a weapon for Penn-Trafford since Coach Wayne took over years ago. Is that something that he consistently, continually harps on? Let's get a big special teams play and change the momentum.
Yeah, of course. I mean, special teams is still part of the game. It's very beneficial to be good on all sides of the ball. Special teams, offense, defense, it doesn't matter. You beneficial on all, you'll be successful.
Tasso, you're the definition of a workhorse, man. Not only do you get a lot of carries on offense, but you rarely come off the field on defense either. So how did your off-season training kind of get you ready for, handling this big workload? And maybe what are some of the things you do in season to keep your body conditioned?
Well, we all push each other, me and my buddies and the entire football team. We all push each other. We all start real early. We have a lot of just the work to do, and we had to get it done. Coach sets up a very, very beneficial workout plan, and we just follow it. And sometimes you go out and lift with your buddies too outside of that. And other than that, coach gets you ready.
So nothing too unique or anything. You just kind of follow the plan and kind of work with that and kind of work your butt off, right?
Do exactly what you're told to do and do it as hard as you possibly can, and you'll be successful.
Well, one of the things Coach Wayne said this year is how well you guys have moved the ball, but you haven't finished off enough drives, too many turnovers, penalties, things of that nature. He feels like even last week you guys could have scored more points than you did. How do you continually keep working on that, and how do you think you have to kind of get to that level you want to be at offensively, again, being able to cap off more drives?
Penalties are always a killer. We always got to stop those and got to be mentally disciplined, and I think we're slowly getting there. Practice is really harping on those type of things, and the more we practice it, the more we succeed in the game.
And even though, you guys went down 0-1 in the conference and the big bounce back against Kiski Area, I know you can't really look at this necessarily, but talk about how tough this conference is because everybody, I think, has a chance to beat everybody. So, you guys went into that game against Kiski Area at 7-7 at halftime. Franklin Regional beat Gateway last week. Latrobe only, beat Armstrong by a couple of touchdowns. So this conference has to be fun to play in, but each and every week it has to be pretty tough, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, our conference is filled with great teams with great players with fantastic coaching. I'm just very, very fortunate to be on this side of the ball or the team that I'm on. I got Coach Elaine. I got the amazing line that I was fortunate enough to have. The conference is a solid conference, and we just got to do what we got to do to win.
If someone asked you what your running style is, how would you respond to that? How would you, kind of define your running style?
Well, I guess there's two things. There's number one, always trust in the line. You got to trust the line and know where they're going to go so you can make the right cut. And being a running back at Penn-Trafford, you have to be tough. You have to have the work ethic to make yourself that tough. And that's how you're successful as a running back at PT.
Yeah, I was going to add that in, and you said it. So that was certainly something that every Penn Trafford running back we've seen over the years. They have to have that toughness element. You certainly have that. I know I asked you this last year when you won Player of the Week, but I got to throw in wrestling as well, or my man Chris Smith would probably take me down and get 2 points and pin me. How does that benefit you playing football? What are some of the similarities that you take from the wrestling mat to the football field?
Well, I mean, wrestling is a huge part of football. Every wrestler that plays football is always successful. They have amazing footwork, great balance, and I think that's why a lot of the successful wrestlers have what they have on the football field.
Yeah, I just saw a video. I don't know if you saw it or not, Tasso, but on Twitter, the one breakdown on Zach Frazier, the Steelers center. They were calling him Matt Frazier because he takes everyone down to the mat. I think it was Baldy doing his Baldy breakdown there. And of course, he was a state champion in high school. So it's pretty cool to see and how the two sports cross over.
Yeah, of course. I mean, one of my good buddies, Jameis Neary, is a fantastic example of that. He wrestled last year and he has amazing footwork this year. It's just the mentality that wrestling gives you. It's a good example of. It shows you what your body can truly do. It's all mental.
And you have to have that discipline. Certainly, wrestling teaches you that. Now, when we spoke last year, you had mentioned that, hey, I still have about a year and a half to consider, what I'd like to do in college. And you still have some time, certainly. But has that picture become any more clear for you? What sport you'd like to participate in? And I'm sure you've gotten some interests on the football side and wrestling, for that matter.
Yeah, I mean, football is, if I was going to, play a sport in college or go to college, it'd definitely be football. I love football and I love what it does to, you have another family, basically. That's what PT showed me. I'd probably be going to football for college.
Let's talk about the Plum Mustangs. I know it's a non-conference game, but certainly one that you want to win. When you kind of look at them on film, for you, what do they like to do, on their side of the ball on offense and defense, and what do you guys have to do to come away with a win?
Oh, they're a solid team. They got good players, good coaches. It's just got to do what you got to do. Do it exactly what Coach Elaine says. Do what you're told and do what you're coached. It's kind of you do that, and hopefully you'll come out with a W.
Tasso, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it, man. Congratulations on all your success. Go PT and go get a win against Plum on Friday night as well.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. And Tasso, this is your last year, so you don't got to worry about me getting in your way during training camp again. I think that I've gotten your way twice now. The one time I think I actually went down 2 years ago. This year I stayed on my feet a little bit, but
yeah.
You did to me what you do to everybody, every Friday night. So I wouldn't expect anything less.
Thank you.
Tasso, thanks, man. Again, good luck.
All right. Thank you.
That is Tasso Whipple, our Week 4 Westmoreland Sports Network Player of the Week. Coming up next, we will preview Week 5 games, including PT and Plum, right here on Westmoreland on the Gridiron.